What is up, guys? So preseason changes are supposed to come in tomorrow, meaning that all the jungle changes, dragon, stuff like that will be going live. I'll be doing a video tomorrow about the changes, like my normal patch previews, but before I want to do this video on how important the elixirs are now. You'll see this clip running in the background, and it's just to answer something that was asked in my last video, whether junglers can use the tower shield to jungle with, and as you can see it disappears, so no you can't. Now there are 4 different elixirs now. They unlock at level 9 and they cost 400 gold each. You can only have one of them at a time, and it works a little differently. Like, they do still have these small stat buffs on them like AP, but the main difference between each of them is a unique buff they give. So first up is the Elixir of Ruin. It gives you 250 health, 15% bonus damage to towers, and the buff makes minions gain 15% damage to towers as well as movement speed. Now this on paper is probably the worst out of all the elixirs, I would say. It doesn't really give you any combat stats to fight with, and it's basically just there for split pushing and sieging. The cool thing about this though is that when you combine it with the 4th dragon buff, which is damage to minions, and the Baron buff, your minions will be so strong and you're going to shred towers really quickly. The Elixir of Iron makes you 25% bigger, gives you slow resistance, tenacity, which is like crowd control reduction, and the buff leaves a path behind you that makes allies 15% faster. Now this will be your pure tank elixir, like a Rammus or a Cho'Gath I guess, just designed to help your team and make you even more annoying. It makes it really hard to click around him or on enemies behind him, and it's like a new way of getting people to attack you by just not being able to click the other people. The Elixir of Sorcery gives you 40 AP, 15 bonus mana regen, and deals 25 true damage to champions and towers. This is going to be your standard item for any AP champion, but you can also use it on someone like your Maokai or something like that depending on the game. Now if you aren't really dying and you've built full tank, then this can give you that kind of extra damage boost that you need to be more than just annoying. The other cool thing as well is the mana regen, because it means that you don't actually have to build a mana regen item anymore if you buy this for team fights. Now finally, the Elixir of Wrath gives you 25 AD and heals you for 10% of your physical damage dealt, while also being able to extend the duration. Now this is a really good item for AD carries and assassins like Zed once you get a few items. Now always with percentage stuff, and I've said this a lot, it's more useful when you have more of that stat that it buffs. So in this case it's more of a, if you're behind and you don't have many items, it's not really going to do much, and it's less useful on tanks because you won't have as much AD, but if you do have a lot of AD then it's going to be really strong. Now the reason I wanted to make this video, even though it's a bit short, is because they can all have a huge impact in games, but only if you use them at the correct time. Now Ruin is for split pushing, and it's most effective with the Baron buff. Iron is when you're ahead and trying to force fights. Wrath is good when you actually have some AD already built because it does percentage, and actually Sorcery is pretty good all around at any stage of the game. I hope you enjoyed this kind of setup video ready for tomorrow's patch overview. Like it if you did, and I'll catch you next time.